Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Kitchen. So, The Kitchen is about wives of gangsters in New York who continue to run their gangster operation after their husbands go to prison. And it stars Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, and Elisabeth Moss, as I assume the wives. I don't know that yet, but unfortunately, it's only got 5.1 stars on IMDb. Yeah, 3,700 people have viewed it, so that's a little underwhelming. I'm kind of excited because it's actually a movie I heard of. A lot of the movies I review, it's just like, I don't know what else to watch, boom, let's do it. And at least this one I've heard of, but low expectations on this one, but that's what I'm here. I'm going to let you know if it's worth watching. I'll give you a better idea what the plot is also, so stick around. I'll be back, we'll see where it goes. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching The Kitchen. We're at the 46-minute, 6-second mark, so 46:06. A little bit early for a check-in, but whatever. I have to tell you, so I'll start it off with this. Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish is in this. I'm thinking it's a comedy, right? You know what I mean? It's going to be there, and I think that was going to ruin it. To be honest with you, I didn't want it to be a comedy for whatever reason. I just didn't think it was going to be funny. Well, it's not. It's not a comedy. This is actually a drama. I mean, there might be... no, it's action, crime, and drama. I should probably read that. I thought this was, again, going to be something and it would be really bad, and it's not. So I'm excited about that. I'm enjoying it because it's not a comedy, even though Melissa McCarthy's in it and Tiffany is in it as well. So it is what they said it was. Basically, they're the wives of somewhat gangsters who get caught for armed robbery, and so they get sent away to prison for 3 years. And the mob or the other gangsters are supposed to take care of them and give them money, and they don't give them a lot of money. They just give them a little bit. So they decide to start going around to the neighborhood and collecting for protection. So originally they found out that some people weren't paying, so they walked in and talked to them and started to do some of their own stuff, and it continues to build. They work their way into a little bit more money, so on and so forth. So some of the things, James Badge Dale's in it. I like that guy. I like him as an actor. I like seeing him in movies and TV shows and stuff like that. He's one of the husbands that went to jail. But then also there's this Domhnall Gleeson. So Ex Machina, he was in. What else was he in? One other one that I saw, About Time. So seen him before. He plays an ex-military person who comes back to try and help them out. So this is my only so far area of opportunity for this film. They, so in any kind of mob movie, there's got to be some killing going on, some murders and stuff like that. So they go a little over the top, not so much on the murders, but two things. One, the ones that happen in public. And maybe that happened, this is in 1978, and they were able to get away with it that easily. But, I get it. They're going to knock some people off, but they have to do it in broad daylight in front of everybody. That gives it the old unbelievable, far-fetched feeling to it. So that piece, and then, of course, the, how you get rid of a body kind of thing. So, and I'm not too upset about this, but they kind of, he's teaching the girls how to do that, and it's more of a, non-serious type tone. But that's not too bad. I mean, it's okay. It just doesn't fit well with the way the rest of the movie's going, with very little comedy in it. That's their piece of comedy when you think about it. So that's where we are. But I am liking it. I don't get the 5.1. Besides those points, I think it's entertaining, and I think Melissa McCarthy's doing a good job. You can, and Tiffany Haddish. I like them sometimes, but not all the time. And I guess it's when they're trying to be funny, and they wear on you a little bit, I think, sometimes in some of the roles that they have when they're starring roles. Not this one. And also, Elisabeth Moss is the third girl in this, and I've never been a big fan of Elisabeth Moss. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her, but it was just like, it's not somebody I'm excited to see, or I really like her acting. But in this, I think she does a pretty good job. So she acts meek, and she's got to build up her courage, and that's happening here. So I kind of like her in this. So there you have it. So far, so good. hopefully I have more stuff to tell you at the end, because I think I just unloaded on you. But up until this point, it's enjoyable, and I don't get the 5.1. So we'll see where it goes from here, and I'll give you my final score. If anything interesting happens before the credits, I'll check in. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of the kitchen, and I still don't get the 5.1. I don't know why IMDb has it so low. I was expecting after our last check-in for it to go downhill, and it did not. I mean, there's still some things that maybe I think could have been done a little bit better, but ultimately it stayed on the path. There was it was, you know, just like a mob movie, you know, but with those actresses, which I thought was interesting because they're comedic actresses, except for Elisabeth Moss. But you know what I mean, and it keeps that tone, and it keeps the serious tone, and the death toll, and all that kind of stuff that you see in normal mob movies. I would say this, a couple of things. One thing, the relationship between Melissa McCarthy's character and Tiffany Haddish's character, in the beginning was good, but they abruptly changed it, and I know why. I got it. You know what I mean? I understand what they were trying to do, but the way that they did it in the movie, I think, was too abrupt. Didn't have enough time to develop that piece of it, if you know what I mean. And if you watch it, you'll see it. It just seems like, you know, they're great, and then they're enemies, but there's not enough there to be like, I mean, and they're not enemies, but they're you know what I mean, not liking each other kind of thing. I'm not saying they're enemies, but you know, it happens rather quickly. And maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough, but it didn't develop enough for me. But that was one thing. And I think at the end, the final conclusion, you know, there was some piece of it where I was like, you know, a little too much of them. You know, I think that I think maybe it could have been a little bit shorter, because everything starts to weigh on you a little bit of what's going on, and it's hard for me to say because I want you to watch it yourself and, you know, see what's going on. I mean, you know, I don't want to, you know, it's the whole thought is, you know, you're watching this and you're seeing what's happening. What's going to go on? You know, how does this end? How does the movie end? You know, what happens after all of this? You know, when their husbands get out of prison, what happens? You know, and everything that they're involved in, how does it continue? Do they continue to thrive in Hell's Kitchen, or does it all fall apart, kind of thing? That's what you're really watching for. And I thought it was great. And as I'm watching these credits here, one other thing I have to mention is the soundtrack. The soundtrack was fantastic. So this movie happens in the late 70s, maybe early 80s, then it comes in a little bit. But, I mean, a lot of good songs. Fleetwood Mac, Bad Company, Bob Dylan, so on and so forth. So just for that alone, I thought it was good. And me, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I don't understand a 5.1. I don't know if it's a masculinity thing, but that doesn't bother me at all. I thought there was, you know, now like some of the other movies that they make, like the all-women's Ghostbusters, that wasn't that great. But I have no issue with, you know, a whole woman cast and them being strong and powerful and doing what they did. So I really enjoyed it, and I was happy with the acting in it for the most part. Like I said, at the 1:35 mark, it's enough. You know, I think it could have been a little bit shorter for me, just because of that. Hopefully that makes sense. I apologize if it doesn't. You know, just like I said, in Melissa McCarthy movies, when she's the main actress and her comedy and stuff like that, over time it gets to me. It's like, okay, enough is enough. Same thing with Tiffany. And it kind of happened here, but it just wasn't a comedy movie. So there you go. Me, how many beers am I going to give this? I am going to 7 beers and a shot. So I don't know if it's an 8. It's close though. But I enjoyed it that much. There you have it. I think you understand. So if you like mob movies and you're okay with, you know, women in power, you might really enjoy this one. I don't see what the issues were. So if you did see it and you had an issue and you rated it low, let me know why. What did I miss? What didn't you like? Because I don't know. I liked it. And that's it. One other thing, last piece, Common's in it. You know, so whatever. For whatever that's worth. I don't know why I mentioned that. The credits. Anyway, check it out. Absolutely. I'll put a link in it below so you can click on it and start watching it right now. And let me know your thoughts. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and tell all your friends. All right, thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.